Hey guys, what's up? It's Simon Creative Productions, and today I am doing the most highly anticipated showcase of 2018, and this is the Infinity War showcase. I have been working on this non-stop for like 4 weeks, and I have finally created 13 minifigures right here, and I am really proud of most of them. And you know, I rushed quite through. I had to rush quite a lot of them, but that doesn't really matter right now. And so today we have, of course, the one and only Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Bucky, Iron Spider suit, Doctor Strange, Loki, Black Panther, Ant-Man, Falcon, Star-Lord, Vision, and the one and only villain, Thanos, at the back. And I have to be honest, I did not finish all the characters, so I didn't do Black Widow, I didn't do Hawkeye, I didn't do Scarlet Witch, and probably some others I'm missing, but I'm really sorry guys, but I had to rush through this in order to get everything out, and here it is. And I wanted to get it out today because this is when it comes out for us today, so yeah. Sorry for that cut, but anyway, without further ado, let's get to it. But before then, if you want to see what I do on my channel, go check out my Instagram. Maybe subscribe if you really wanted to, and like this video, I guess. And here we go. Okay, beginning with the captain himself, Captain America, Steve Rogers. And I just want to say that I know a lot of you are gonna get mad that I didn't do the shields, and yeah, you can get mad because I actually did find a piece to make it with. I used these castle pieces, the brand castle, and then I used their shields and I put it on them, but they didn't end up working out, so yeah. But I still made the figure, which I'm really proud of. So I used the Age of Ultron body, and then what I did was I painted the black there. It's hard to see, but yes, I just focused in. So yeah, he was not really hard to make. It only took me like 2 days probably. So first of all, I painted over his that white and red part, and then I did some weathering onto it, and it became the color I wanted. And then I painted black over the red, so then it looked like he has battle damage. And then I actually did these gold lines on his belt, which made it look better, I guess. And for the sides, I used the light blue, and then I actually decided to weather that as well, and it worked out in the end, which was great. So yeah, I just want to say before I finish this figure, I want to say I'm actually making another video on my figures, on the full review, which will be coming up soon, so look out for that if you really want to know what I talk about most of the time. But yeah, the printing of the legs, some grays, and I did the roll up sleeves because they look better than leaving them down. And yeah, for the back I didn't do much either. I just painted black over the red parts. So yeah, for the face, this is probably the best face I've done for Captain America, because if you remember back then, my old one was pretty bad. That's why I kind of had to use my Civil War figure and just took him apart. Then I just took a Superman headpiece and painted it dark brown. So is his face, and yeah. So I'll move on to the next figure now. Okay, so continuing the showcase, I decided to do it on the Mark 50 suit, and this suit was a challenge because I wanted to do a better version than what I did for my Mark 48 or something, or whatever Mark was in Civil War, but that didn't turn out the best. But this one turned out way better. So what I did was I actually didn't sculpt the whole front body. I actually just sculpt a few spots and then just painted over them. So I sculpted the front area there, the shoulder pads, and the back, which turned out fine, I guess. You know, I had to rush this figure quite a lot because he was the last figure I had to make before the showcase. So yeah, but I outlined all the parts on his helmet, especially, and he just wears a normal Tony Stark face. And the HUD's actually printed from Civil War, which is hard to see. You can see it there. yeah, it's really bad. So it was from 2 years ago, so you can't really expect a lot. So yeah, great, the helmet came off, but yeah. So anyway, continuing with the showcase, I mean, um, the legs were pretty easy to do. They were the easiest part, but because I mainly just used the Civil War one, but I fixed it up and made it look better. And I also did the front, which looks fine. I took a lot of my images from the minifigure, so I actually took a lot of their art and then I put on mine, which looks fine. I just did a few modifications on the helmet and the body. So yeah, guys, yeah, and the arms are painted as well. So moving on to the next figure, Thanos. Okay, guys, so continuing with Thanos, I am so happy with this figure because he is my first big fig I have attempted, and I even had to zoom out the camera because I've never had to do this before, but he turned out great. I know I could have done way more, but I actually had to rush this figure as well because I had 2 weeks to work on all of these, and then I had like 2 weeks to finish up on a lot of them. So yeah, and I'm honestly really proud of this guy, and I put a lot of work on him. So what I did was I took a 2012 Hulk big fig, and then I made him into this. So what I did was I sculpted over his head, and then I painted his head, and I also sculpted over the body, and I made his armor here, and yeah, and then I painted over that, and a lot of my I took a lot of reference off Michael MGS, which so thanks to him for that, and the Infinity Gauntlet. I have to talk about that because this took me a while to do. This was probably one of the hardest tasks about this minifigure. So talking about this, I have to say that I actually I wish I could have found better colors, like a brighter purple and a brighter orange, because my orange and purples are really bad, and I had to actually mix them. That's why this skin right here isn't what I wanted either, but it turned out okay. He turned out dark purple, which I kind of wish he turned out a bit lighter, but I guess it's fine. So yeah, what I did was I sculpted the holes and then I just painted on, which looks fine, you know, like the colors I have, like blue, yellow, red, green, they all turned out fine, but the other colors, you know, they could have been better. And then I also sculpted on his hand to make it larger, so then the Infinity Gauntlet actually looks pretty good. And for the arms, I didn't do any printing, but for the legs, what I did was, since he was a Hulk, I just sculpted over his pants, and then I just made the shoes, and the shoes actually turned out pretty good. So from the back, I know these paints don't work that well, so what I did was I tried to get the darkest blue I did, but every time I just painted over this, all these cracks would start happening onto the sculpt of the side of this, like, I don't know what to call those things, like they kind of hang off his suit, which they look fine, and I also sculpted that part. And yeah, so his head was taken reference of this guy on Instagram called McLovin. I don't know his name. I forgot. It's yeah, but he did a great job. So I kind of copied what he did on the head, and yeah. So anyway, guys, moving on to the next figure. Okay, so jumping from a villain to a good guy, I decided to go with Thor here. So um, I haven't watched the movie. I just came back from it actually. So yeah, I have to say Thor was really good in the movie, and he turned out great. So I'm not gonna spoil anything, so you don't have to worry about that. But he was actually one of the first minifigures I finished. So I kind of rushed through him, through his body a lot, but his back, I have to say that I did take a lot of reference from the minifigure as well, the Lego minifigure. Um, yeah, but I wish I didn't do more detail, but as I said, I had limited time on these guys, so I don't get to work on them a lot. But I did make the eye patch, of course. I gave him the sleepy hair, and I painted it brown. And yeah, he turned out great. And for this one, I actually created the weapon. I created his Stormbreaker. If you don't know what that's called, that's his new weapon in Infinity War, and it turned out great. Like I painted I joined up an axe piece from the castle line with, and then I just sculpted the back part, and I painted the roots on it or whatever, the dark brown. So yeah, it turned out great, but I'm not gonna put on the minifigure because I actually painted this guy's hands, which was a terrible idea for this because he actually ripped off some of his hands, like as you can see there. Yeah, that didn't turn out too great, but yeah. So anyway, yeah, there's not much to talk about this minifigure. So I sculpted his little I don't know what to call them, like these padding areas, and I gave him sleeves. I like him without the sleeves because he kind of looks better, and yeah. So I guess I can move on now. I'm moving on to Bucky. Okay, continuing with the Winter Soldier himself, or the White Wolf. I'm not sure what he's actually called, but he he actually turned out way better than I expected. So he was the one that I finished first, I'm pretty sure, or second, I'm not sure. But I have to say that first of all, I have to talk about his face, and I know I can do a better job with his face, but it's way better than that time when I did it in 2016, and yeah, I kind of want to forget about that, but I can't. So what I did was I just totally destroyed his face. I took his old body, I destroyed it, and I painted his blue thing, his blue arm, the sleeve, and then his metal arm, which is what I really want to talk about because his vibranium one, thanks to Entertainment, the magazine, I got the actually painted on, which was great, and it looks really good. And what I did was I just took gold and I traced it over the black, which made it look even better. And the legs are just dark brown with a few straps and this holder, I guess. I'm not sure. I didn't give him any guns either. And I know I'm missing a lot of weapons, but I had to rush through this. I'm not kidding. And for the back, I had no reference whatsoever, so I just made this. Yeah. So quick look, and yeah. So anyway, moving on to the next figure because I can only talk with these guys for like a minute and a half or 2 minutes or longer. Okay, continuing with Falcon, I have to say that I actually didn't want to make this figure at first, but I thought I did a good enough job in Civil War, and if you don't remember, go check out the video if you really wanted to. I don't understand why though, but I found out that I looked at it again and I was like, yeah, I don't like him anymore. So my old Falcon was kind of bad, and his literally his whole back part was about to fall out. So I knew I had to make another one that is way better. So I'm really sorry about that cut that happened. My camera fell over, which happens a lot because my camera stands aren't the best. So anyway, yeah, I added more detail in the torso and the gloves especially, and his wings will definitely improve. Like I definitely took more work to actually draw it out and put it onto a pair of these plastic things I always use to make these wings every showcase, the past showcase, and yeah, it turned out great because they look pretty good, and I had to make this in 2 days. 2 days, and it turned out pretty good even though it was a rush job. I gave him shoulder pads if you haven't seen. I just painted a normal expression for this guy. I do it for a lot of the minifigures. So for the back, his backpack's just really simple as well. I wanted to do that because I did in my old figure, and also for this time I actually didn't sculpt his body because that's what I did last time, but that didn't turn out well either. But yeah, and I just got him a normal hairpiece. I don't know who is assigned to this hairpiece, but yeah, I always find it works with him, and I just did it again. Okay, so continuing with the Iron Spider, I have to say I'm really proud with this guy because I did not expect to make him either because I was just thinking of just using his normal Spider-Man body, but I could not pass him up because once I saw him in the trailer, I was like, I gotta make him. So his torso was definitely a challenge, but I think that turned out pretty well, and I used blue, not black. I did use black at first, but then I changed it up, and I just outlined it with gold for a lot, and then his arms are same on both sides, and yeah, they turned out great as well. And his legs were pretty good as well. I didn't do a ton of detail on them, but you know, gold always looks nice with anything anyway. So his head, I just tried to make it the best I look. So this was my third Spider-Man. This is my third Spider-Man. But last year I probably made the my favorite normal Spider-Man looking figure, but this looks just great in Iron Spider form. So I actually succeeded in using black lines. So in my first Spider-Man, I used black lines, but I absolutely hated it because it did not turn out nice, and I just had to change it. But this time, it looks fine. Like, I did not use red, I used black. And so the white eyes as well. I was thinking of putting a blue tint onto it, but that didn't end up working out. So I just went with the white. And for the back, I had no reference whatsoever, so I just guessed with this. And I think I'm missing a part, but it looks kind of ugly from the back. But yeah, that didn't end up working out. But the front looks fine, and yeah. So anyway, continuing on with the showcase. I know what a lot of you are gonna say. Why did you make Ant-Man? So I decided to make him ages ago because I really wanted to improve on the Ant-Man I made in Civil War because I knew he didn't turn out well either. But this was, I know he's not gonna be in a lot in the movie, so yeah. But I did want to correct his helmet. So first of all, I added as much detail as I could to the torso, and the torso turned out fine. So this will be the form I will be using for Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I might make some modifications because I did rush this figure as well. But his back looks fine, and I just really wanted to get this helmet right. So I know this helmet still doesn't look the best, but it looks way better than the one I did in 2016 because I actually made it curved down, but last time I actually just made it into like a snout or something, which made it look terrible. But this time it actually looks fine, and the back looks great as well. Well, not that great, but it's fine. It works. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk a lot because he's probably not gonna be in the movie. But anyway, moving on. I know this is not the best face I've done, but and I know a lot of you are going like, why did you remake him? He kind of really stayed the same from Doctor Strange. Well, I knew I definitely wanted to fix up his torso, so I I think I redid the Eye of Agamotto. I'm not sure because I did. Yeah, I definitely did. So I did this a while back in January, I think. Yeah, definitely. So I fixed up the legs as well, and I made it look better. And I gave him proper shoes, and um, I actually made him a dark blue instead of keeping him at the light kind of dark bluish that I gave to Bucky. Like here, I'll show the difference. Like you can see the difference. Like so, yeah, you can see the difference there. But I gave him the same cape, and that turned out fine, I guess. There's no back printing or anything, but I kept the same hair because I really like this one, and I definitely had to improve on the eyes. Like my Captain America eyes were definitely better because I did this later, and I know that it's still not the best, but I'm definitely improving from when I first started, which is good, I guess, for you people who actually care. Um, and yeah, and then his hands and stuff. But this turned out pretty great, and I have to move along now. Okay, so yeah, just one more quick swirl. Okay, I know a lot of you will be saying, where are the Guardians? Because they're all in the movie. Well, I only wanted to do Starla because I was kind of happy with how Gamora turned out in the movie, and Drax as well. And Rocket, I could have improved on him, but I just didn't have the time to make an extra figure in there. But if you want to see all of them, just go and check out my Guardians of the Galaxy video. I might link in the below, I'm not sure, but you can go check it out. Just go to my channel and scroll through the videos and you'll find it. I don't post a lot of videos, so you'll definitely find it easier. So anyway, this time I actually did it with the short jacket, the small one. So I didn't give him that long jacket that he has. I just gave him the small one, zipped up and everything. But I actually didn't cut out like a jacket or anything. I actually just painted it on because I just think that this is better than just wasting my time and making a whole new jacket just for this figure. But you know, it turned out great. I mean, I know he doesn't have his guns either because I did paint on his arms, and I didn't have time to do it either. But the helmet I just took from Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and his head is actually not a Peter Quill head, because the Peter Quill head I used for the Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So yeah, and his legs look fine, I guess. Just printed on boots with light brown and a few details there, but his jacket arms look pretty great. And his back was taken off Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So yeah. So moving on. Okay, continuing with Vision. I know a lot of you would definitely hate the head, which I don't really care, but his face I'm not happy with, but everything else turned out fine. I know his cape is really short compared to like Doctor Strange here, but I actually accidentally cut off like a whole part, because this was a Batman cape that I shortened. It was actually from Loki, but I gave it to Vision because Vision actually needs a proper cape. So yeah, yeah, he turned out fine. I really like his torso that I put a lot of work into, and his legs I put a lot of work into, but that's actually back printing, so I'll remove the cape and show you guys the cape, and then show you guys Vision's cape as well. Wait, I just said that, I'm sorry. So anyway, here it is. So for once I actually did back printing on a person who has a cape. Yeah, that turned out fine, you know. I didn't have a lot of references either. Yeah, but I went with a full-on red as his skin, because I always agree that his skin's red and not pink. I don't know why Lego bothered to do that. I have the minifigure here somewhere, yes. So yeah, here's the minifigure compared to mine, and I personally think that this color's correct as well. The green, that looks better. And yeah, so the minifigure is still fine. I mean, his face is definitely better than mine, but I definitely agree that his skin is red and not pink or purple, whatever it is. So anyway, yeah, and then I just used silver for his outlines, his synthetic, or whatever you call it. Yeah, and then I painted his boots as well, which look fine. And yeah, so his gloves don't have much detail, but this color was meant to be purple, but that didn't turn out that good. It looks like brown, but you know, if you're actually here and you look at the figure, it's actually purple. Yeah, it just doesn't look good on camera. So here's the cape. I'll quickly show you guys. Yeah, it's just painted gold with red outlines, with red lines. Okay, moving on. Okay, continuing with the mischief, the god of mischief, Loki. I definitely wanted to improve on my Thor Ragnarok version. So my Thor Ragnarok version was definitely one of the worst minifigures I have ever made, but this figure just turned out way better. So I decided to go with his green costume instead of his blue one that I did. And this one looks way better. I actually decided to cut out the cape for him instead of giving him one, because I ran out of capes. And I just gave him the same hairpiece as Bucky. Yo. So yeah, and I just gave him, I stayed with the same shoulder pads. I used dark green, and yeah, his legs look great, and his boots. I know his face, I tried to copy off the one from the Lego figure, but it didn't turn out the best. But it looks fine, you know. Yeah, so his arms are good. Yeah, and I took a lot of inspiration from Michael MGS as well. His was really good, so yeah. So his boots just look normal, and I gave him pads on his arms, so I actually sculpted them and painted them black, and then just painted the skin on as well. So yeah, that turned out good. So moving on to the last figure, Black Panther. Okay, the reason why I left Black Panther to the end was because I knew that his helmet wasn't the best, and I definitely knew that for a fact. But I definitely did improve from the Civil War version. But his suit, I did want to copy off the Black Panther thing, but I made this figure so early that I didn't have any back printing whatsoever. I mean, back references whatsoever. So I just did this, which is a picture I found online, and I know for sure that's wrong because I seen the back of it on the Lego figure, and I know for sure that's not correct. So yeah, I'm sorry about that, but his body, I actually used the gray this time, and then I just used silver to paint out the spikes and his necklace and some different spots on his body, like the claws on his feet, some other parts like the claws on his side. So yeah, and that turned out fine, but his helmet was definitely a challenge, and I know for a fact that I had to rush through a lot of it, but it still turned out okay, I guess. His front looks fine, but when you go on the side, he kind of looks like a cat. I know he's actually a panther, which is technically what they call a cat, but he does not look good from the sides. So anyway, I'm really sorry about this, but I think this is the last figure, so we actually get to move on to the ending part. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I am gonna do a full review, so make sure you go check that out if you really want to know all about it. But none of you will probably stay up to here by now, so anyway, time to wrap up this video. Okay guys, to wrap up this video, I just want to say thanks for watching, and if you stayed for this long, I'm not sure, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed the movie. I just went to go watch it and I really liked it, so I hope all of you like it as well. And thanks guys so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please like the video if you want, I guess, and subscribe if you really like this video. And to keep up with more of my content, press that bell button. I don't know, I'm not on YouTube. I don't know a lot about stuff, but anyway, thanks guys for watching, and follow my Instagram, my Twitter, and the links will be in the description below. And sorry that not everyone could have made it into this showcase, like people like Hulk or like Black Widow and stuff like that, but I had to rush through this one. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. See you guys later. Bye.